folks, Eric here from DirtleSneakers.com, and I just finished another run in the Brooks Glycerin 18, and I want to talk to you about the shoe. Hey, talking to the camera in front of people. So you can tell by my shirt that this year I was recruited to the Brooks Run Happy team, which means I'm going to get a bunch of gear throughout the year that I don't have to pay for. I also have to share that, some of it on my social channels. So the 18s were sent to me for free, but this is going to be an unbiased review. So I just want you to know that I'm not getting paid for this. All right, I'm going to go shower, clean up, maybe shave, and then let's talk about the Brooks Glycerin 18s. I thought I'd come back to the river to finish this up. It's a beautiful day. It's actually a beautiful morning. So let's get into the construction of the Glycerin 18. One quick note, if you're interested in getting the Brooks Glycerin 18s, I did put a link in the description below. Just know that that does go to my Amazon associate account, Amazon affiliate account. I never remember what it's called. So I'm gonna get a couple of shekels from that sale, but at no cost to you. Before we get into it, if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button below, it'll get this up into the YouTube algorithm a little bit more, and it'll be a huge help to the channel. So I'd really appreciate you doing that. All right, so let's talk about the Brooks Glycerin 18. I'm gonna start with the basics. It is a neutral shoe, which is like 95%, maybe 99% of the shoes that I've been reviewing lately. It does have a 10mm drop from the heel to the forefoot. It's got a one-piece midsole, which is their DNA Loft, which I'm going to get into. It's going to set you back $150, and it's going to weigh in at 10.2 ounces. So it's a little bit on the heavier side, definitely not the heaviest of the shoes that I've been reviewing lately. Let's start from the top and we'll go down to the bottom. The upper is made from an engineered mesh that does conform really well to your foot. It's not going to feel too constricting, but my concern is that the upper doesn't have a ton of venting, and it's going to be hot and sticky during those really humid runs that you're going to be doing in the summer. You know, the kinds where you take off your shoe and you're just able to dump the sweat out. So a little bit of a concern there, but it didn't feel too hot when I was running. It's springtime. The hottest run that I've been running in lately has probably been about 65 degrees, and my foot has felt fine. It is a super plush fit. The watchword for this is cushioned, and that is in every aspect of design, from the really cushioned heel cup, a really thick padded tongue, and a nice stiff heel clutch. So your foot is going to feel really locked in there, but again, not feeling constricted. It's going to feel super comfortable. Let's go into the midsole. As I said before, it is Brooks's DNA Loft. It's a one-piece midsole, and again, the watchword of this is comfort. The construction of the DNA Loft is EVA foam, which is what 99% of midsoles are made out of, blown rubber as well as air. So it's really going to give you a super cushioned ride. You're not going to get a lot of ground feel on this. It's really going to be a plush comfort ride. I'm going to get into sort of what my thoughts are and how it felt to me in a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the outsole first. So I need to break into my edit because I realized that I am missing part of, I don't know what happened. I thought that I was recording and it wasn't. Anyway, let's talk about the outsole. It is a two-piece outsole. This is what Brooks is calling their green outsole, and when I talked to the brand, they told me that I thought, you know, if it's green, usually that means that there's some sustainability factor involved, and they said that sustainability is part of the story, but it's not really the main part of the story. The reason that they're calling it a green rubber is because they use silica and as opposed to petroleum to make the rubber. So that's why they're calling it green. And the second, this is their HPR rubber, which is their high performance rubber, and they put this in a spot where obviously for us heel strikers out there. The other thing that I found really interesting about the outsole is that it's only a 3mm outsole. So there's it's a very, very thin outsole, and the reason that they did that is because they wanted to give you more of the midsole feel when you're using the shoe. So now let's get to my opinion, because it has a lot to do with the midsole. If you watch my channel, if you pay attention to the way that I run and sort of how I talk about the shoes, I love me a cushioned shoe. I loved the Brooks Ghost, I love the A6 Nimbus and the Cumulus, I love the Mizuno Wave Riders. something about this just didn't work well for me. I didn't feel that the energy that I was putting into the shoe, I was getting out of it. There was too much cushion for me. So that doesn't mean that it's not going to be a good shoe for you. It just wasn't the right shoe for me. So we can go back to where I was in the other part of the edit. Okay, boop. In the Ghost, Brooks used the DNA Loft in conjunction with the Biomogo midsole. That worked for me really well. For whatever reason, this one piece DNA Loft didn't work for me. But like I said, that doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. Anyway, if you like this video, smash that like button below, get it up in the YouTube algorithm a little bit more. And if you like gear reviews, race reviews, or anything endurance sports related, I'm your guy. Please hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you get notified when I put new videos up just about every week or so. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks, and I will see you next time.